everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is From the Heart with the KDB. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody! So today we're gonna have a special Valentine's Day edition of From the Heart. So just before we jump in, just want to welcome you all back. I appreciate the love, the support, especially the comments. I really love interacting with you guys. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy days to watch my videos and to interact with me. Love it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to see more content from me and to dive in more with me. I really just want to share who I am and give a little glimpse of my crazy mind and life and share some of my experiences with you guys, hoping that maybe I can touch somebody or maybe I can, help somebody who is going through something. So really just, that's why I'm here, and really just want to grow this community and keep it moving. All right, so as we're about to jump in, as I said, today's a Valentine's Day special. Sis is single, yeah, so don't really have much Valentine's Day plans. I will be reading and spending some time with the family, and loving up on my little munchkin. But let me know in the comments, what are you doing today? What plans do you have? How did you plan, or what gifts did you get for your significant others? I'd be happy to know. Now, because I'm single, I can't really share about my current relationship. So what I will be doing today is talking about previous relationships, particularly the ones that have impacted me the most. So yeah, let's jump right in. Now, first up, we have, so these are the ghosts of boyfriend's past. Yeah. I pray they don't hear this and want to fight me. I'm sorry, guys. But first up, we have the one that taught me what it means to really love and be loved in a relationship. Now, this was probably my first real boyfriend, in the sense that our relationship was just took it to another level, and that's on an emotional scale, on a communication scale. It was just completely different. Now, previously, you had little boyfriends who, you guys just hang out every now and again. You might send a one text here, a one text there, but mostly it was just so, it's like your friend. You guys are just hanging out, you guys are just cool, kicking it, but there really wasn't anything deep or meaningful. There wasn't any real connection. Now, with this guy, we started dating a little before my 16th birthday. And this was somebody that I really connected with, to the point where even to this day we are still friends. We're very close. We still talk almost every day. Like, we're cool. He was the one that really taught me that, when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's not just about meeting up and hanging out every once in a while or shooting a text. It's about wanting to be with the person, wanting to talk to the person, wanting to connect with that person on a deeper level. So it's like you're going through the day and anything happens the first thing you want to do, you want to reach out and say, hey, guess what happened? Or, you know, and I think when we started talking, it was during that time when Digital was having free nights and the 250 free texts per day. And when I tell you that I used to breeze through text messages, like breeze throughout the entire day on the phone. Either him buy the $200 credit to get the free nights, or I buy the $200 to get the free nights. But we were just always talking, always communicating, always aware of each other's life. He was one of the first boyfriends that I had that I was very open with, in the sense that I didn't have to hide him from my parents or anything like that. He was, my mommy knew him, my mommy spoke to him, my aunts knew him, my sisters knew him. Like, I didn't have to hide anything or close up anything, because as I said, you guys know that I grew up very sheltered, in the sense that I had a very protective mother. So that relationship just really taught me what it means to be in a relationship then, of a sense. To be able to connect with somebody, to want to be with somebody, to want to be a part of their lives actively. I met his mother. I used to speak with his brothers. Like, we were just really, really close and enmeshed in each other's lives. So he really taught me that it's important to keep communication open. It's important to be able to connect with somebody, because even though we may not have been able to see each other all the time, because he didn't go to my school, we didn't live close by, but it never seemed as if we weren't connected, or we weren't, it didn't seem as if we weren't connected, because of how well we communicated and how often we communicated as well. So yeah, shouts out and props to you. You really changed my view on relationships. You really changed my view on what it's like to be with someone, to the point where I now know that communication is very important. And if I'm with somebody and I can go days without speaking to the person, then something is lacking, or maybe I shouldn't be in that relationship, because that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to want to be in your significant other's life. You're supposed to want to connect with them. You're supposed to want to know what their day is like, what they're going through. You want to be there for the person that you're with, for the person that you love. So, big up yourself. You know yourself. Next up we have, now, I believe in every relationship, you either take away really good memories. Sometimes you leave that relationship with a lifelong friend, because not every relationship crashes and burns. Some just change or evolve, or you realize that while I may have love for you, I'm not in love with you, or you may not be the right person for me, or we're in two different places in life, right? And if that doesn't happen, you definitely learn lessons. So next ghost of boyfriends past would be the boyfriend that broke my trust and made me wary of relationships. And when I say wary of relationships, meaning that if I'm talking to somebody and I'm seeing from the get-go where I'm noticing certain signs, or you BS me, like even if it's just a simple comment that I don't like right there, I'm halting the brakes, I'm stopping, I'm not going any further with it. So because of that, that's partly one of the reasons I've been single so long, because I'm just not giving anybody the time of day. Because I'm a no-nonsense person. I don't have time for foolishness, right? And this is partly due to this boyfriend. Now, we probably started dating when I was about 18. Yes, when I was 18. And this relationship was it was very heavy from the get-go, in the sense that this guy, he had this whole vision and aspiration of what he wants and how he wants me to mesh into his life. And you know, you're young, and at that point I just got, quote unquote, my freedom or independence. I was living, my brother and I were living on our own, so I had the freedom to go where I wanted to go, to do what I wanted to do. And with that freedom and this new relationship, you just feel big and on top of the world. You feel invincible, like you're just going with the flow. But he, on the other hand, in his mind, I was going to be his wife. I'm going to be who he spends the rest of his life with. And there were often times when it was just a mess sometimes. There were instances where I questioned his honesty, how truthful he was. Where he would say something today and then tomorrow he says something else that was completely different from what he said before. Because the thing with me is, I have a pretty good memory, right? So while I may not, so if you say something to me today and 2 weeks down the road you say something else, I'm going to remember that, you know, and I'm going to catch you in that lie. But every time I figured something out, or I was confronted with a lie that he may have told, and I would go to him and I would say, yo, explain this to me, it was as if this boy was trying to make it seem as if I was crazy, like I didn't know what I was talking about, and as if nothing like that didn't happen. So there were instances where it was just like, it's like him wanting to question, did I really hear that? No, man, he never did say that. Like, that was a constant thing there, you know? Yeah, like, and he was possessive to the point where he didn't want me around some of my friends. He didn't like some of my friends because as far as he was concerned, they were bad influences. And it was always a constant push and pull. He wanted to monopolize all my time, all my attention, and he was not okay with me spending time with others. So because of that, it was almost as if he was trying to isolate me and to keep me in this specific mold that he had of me. Now remember, I was 18 years old. That's crazy. You know, at 18, you're supposed to be trying to figure out your life, trying to see where you're going. If you have a boyfriend, you know, you're finding your footing. It's not necessarily you're thinking long term right there and then, because at 18, there's so much more to explore, so much things to do before you can even consider settling down. But this relationship, don't get me wrong, in my mind, I was in love with this guy. You know, I was happy, I was content, I was good. But in hindsight, looking back, you're like, what the hell how did you allow this to continue for so long? Because, as I said, it was crazy. I was with this guy for over a year. Yeah, for over a year. I remember there was an instance where I was using his phone, and it's like I was just so insecure, so unsure, because once he's either up in your face every day 24/7, or he's gone and you don't know where he is, or you're not hearing from him, or you're getting one-line responses and stuff like that. And I was just so insecure that I remember once I searched his phone, I saw some pretty weird messages about deleting messages and talking on text messages versus BBM, so that when you're deleting stuff, you don't have to delete the entire message and stuff like that. And I remember going to him and asking him, and him bring up this whole fictitious story about he was planning a birthday party, and they didn't want to have the message lying around, which was crazy because the person he was planning the birthday party with is somebody that he doesn't see very often and wouldn't be near his phone to see those messages. And it was just like, I became somebody that I did not want to be. I became somebody who felt like small, insecure, unsure of herself, unsure of who she was or what she wanted out of a relationship, and it was a whole mess. But as I said, I learned lessons there. If you are unsure of your place, if you are unsure where you stand in somebody's life, speak up. If you see signs or red flags, don't ignore them and don't brush them to the side, and don't allow somebody to belittle what you're feeling. Not saying that you should be distrustful and just not trust somebody, but if it is that you are confronted with something and you start questioning what is happening, go to the person, ask the person. And if it is that you see something, don't make that person make you feel like you're mad, because you see it with your two items. But yeah, so as I said, moving on from that, now this one, this is a relationship that made me realize that there was the levels. That, while you can love somebody, there are levels to loving persons, and your heart has the capacity to expand and to grow. And you can love persons in different ways, and you can have different quantities of love for others. This guy, I used to joke and say he was the love of my life, in the sense that the love I had for him was like, I never experienced that type of love with anybody else before. I never encountered like the wealth of emotions and feelings that I had bottled up inside me for this person. I've never felt that before for anybody else. And for me, that was good. It showed that I had the capacity to move on, to grow, and to love. And I appreciate him for that. I believe we had a really good relationship. It was good. We had fun, we laughed, we genuinely enjoyed spending time together, and we eventually drifted apart. I didn't work out because, as I said, relationships end for different reasons. We were in two different places in our lives. We were going for two different things, and ultimately we just had to part ways, and that's totally fine. Yeah. And then the last one, and this is so funny because he was never my boyfriend. I like to consider him the one that got away. No, I met this guy from as early as from I was in high school. He was a major part of my high school life. We were really close friends. There was always some amount of feelings there, but it was just never the right time. So we were friends throughout high school, really close, always laughing, always hanging out, always in each other's space. Then even after leaving high school and at university, he was still a major player. He was always that guy that I could talk to about anything. Could always reach out to him, could always text him, could always call him, spend hours on the phone. He was just a major part of who I was, who I am. But when you've liked somebody for so long, especially when you and that person have become so close that they know you in a way that somebody else can't even compute. They knew you when you were angry and miserable, and they knew you when you started to laugh and have fun. They just knew you. But when the opportunity came for us to explore the possibility of a relationship, I was scared. So scared that I pushed him aside and started to think about dating somebody else. Turn around, you know, missed the opportunity, but sometimes you still look back and you wonder what would have happened, what could have happened. But then, as I said, it's a missed opportunity. You can't turn back, you can't make any changes. It's just done. But those are the 4 guys that I think have really shaped who I am as a person and how I enter relationships and how I view relationships. As I said, each of them has taught me a very important lesson. I've learned that communication is very important. It is what keeps a relationship going, and you should not take it for granted. Open lines of communication is key. I also learned that not everybody will be honest, not everybody will be truthful, not everybody will be upfront, and that's okay. That has nothing to do with you. It doesn't reflect badly on you or poorly on you. It's just that person. But you should never ignore the red flags, never ignore what you're feeling, or brush aside how you feel. Be willing to speak up, be willing to say, hey, I don't like what happened here, or be willing to say, I'm not going to put up with this. It's not okay. Don't go along blindly, and then when you're in a hot water and you can't find your way out, you're wondering, how did I get here? I learned that it's important to be with somebody who you are comfortable with, who makes you happy, who makes you laugh. And it's important to know when it's time to move on, when it's time to move forward, when a relationship has run its course. And I've also learned that fear only holds you back and keeps you from some of the greatest or happiest moments of your life. Don't ever let fear stop you from going for what you want or going after what you want. It's better to have love than lost, to not love at all, and to be staring back, looking and wondering what if. Now, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. As I said, this has been From the Heart Valentine's Day special. If you have made it this far, I appreciate it. You know, just want to say, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tune in. I have loads more to share and loads more to give. Peace out and have a great Valentine's Day.